Hey everybody, this is Larry up in Brand, Minnesota. You know I like good food. You know I like to smoke food. It's kind of a tradition in the Hall family. I do it. My brother Steve does lots of it. He's always cooking. Well, you're in for a real treat, and I'm in for a real treat, because all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, show me how to do brisket the right way is who else but Steve Hull Jr. Hi, Steve.
How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. I'm excited about this.
I'm very excited.
Okay, we're going to start with rubbing this down. Tell me about, do you prepare the brisket in any certain way?
Well, to start off with, this is a full brisket. Now, if you go to a store, a lot of your retail stores sell just the flat, is what you see. This is the flat and the point. The flat's kind of a leaner part of the meat, and your point's more marbly. It's the delicacy of barbecue. They do burn ends, and it's got a lot of marbling in it. We're going to leave a lot of the marbling in it because we want that juicy brisket. There's nothing worse than a dry brisket.
Right.
So you want to trim off kind of like you do ribs. If you've ever done ribs and you peel that layer off.
Sure.
This is down by the ribs on the front part of the animal, down kind of about the halfway between the upper ribs and the shin. That's where your brisket is on the front of the cattle. And it's got some of that lining and stuff here. You'll trim all that off till you can see the grains of the meat running. And then there's a kernel right here. This is a tallowy type meat. When you cook down a brisket, this part won't cook down. Any of your tallow meats on the outside, the kernels here, it won't cook down, and it's kind of a wasted part of the brisket. So we're going to trim this off. We're going to trim some of this here, and on the back side, which we'll touch on later because it's an important part of the cooking process, is your fat cap. This here, for me and my taste, what I like, and I get a lot of compliments on, I leave as much of that on as possible. And the reason is we cook this, we're going to cook it fat side up. There's two kinds of people in the world. There's those that cook fat side up and those that cook fat side down. The reason you cook fat side up, we're going to do a low and slow, the reason you cook fat side up is so all that juice runs down through your brisket. Now, if we were doing an open flame that was closer to it and a hotter temperature, we'd do fat cap down, then it would be a protectant of the meat. So in this process, we're going to do it in Larry's famous smoker, which if you guys have ever seen it, it's a worldwide, nationally known smoker. And it's going to cook on a low temp, fat cap up, and soak all the rub down through the meat. So we're going to get it all trimmed up. And
but you trim it up, Steve,
yeah,
and then we'll be back and
we'll
show them how to
we'll
rub
get
it
back
up.
to you.
Okay. Okay, looks like you got it all trimmed up there. What we got going there, Steve?
Absolutely. We went ahead and that kernel we were talking about, we went ahead and got that cleaned out. We trimmed up the front side a little bit. I left a little marbling in there. I like mine a little bit more juicy when it comes out. We're going to have it on there for 16 hours, but now we're going to put the rub on.
Now, what's the rub? Is this your magic?
This is my father-in-law, Dave Dover, in Houston, Texas. For 30 years, all over Texas, catered brisket, and he gave this recipe to me. He passed away in 2010, gave this recipe to me, and people have just been doing backflips over it. I'm not going to give you the secret recipe, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to break a little code and help you out. If you're making your own rub at home, now you can just go salt and pepper on a brisket. There's a place in Austin, Texas called Franklin's, and he just puts salt and pepper on it, and he's packed every day, sells out by 2:30. But I got a little brown sugar in here, a little cumin, some Cajun spices. But the main thing about it is on a brisket, you don't have to, it doesn't need a crust. So you can go ahead and throw some seasoning on it and just lightly dust it both sides, and you'll get great results. Also, we're not doing it on this one, but Larry always talks about better than bouillon, beef bouillon. The number one ingredient is what, Larry? First thing?
Beef.
Beef. And if you can come in a little bit closer and see these grains, how they're running here, if you inject, you get that real beefy taste. If you inject with the grain, you can put some beef bouillon in there.
Or like make up a real strong mix and inject it in. Oh, that's a good secret.
Yeah, and a lot of people just do straight water and beef bouillon and inject it in there. And if you're going to do competition briskets, if you got a little competition in your hometown you want to do, the reason I say run with the grains is because if you run this way, you'll get spotty.
Oh.
If you run with the grains,
won't look as pretty.
It'll look pretty and it'll look even.
Now, when I
uniform.
take this out and put it in the smoker, I'll put a water tray in there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hold moisture.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because the worst thing, like I said in the beginning of the video, is a dry brisket.
We don't want that.
No. And we're gonna do some different techniques throughout this. You'll see that's gonna hold that moisture. But yeah, we're just gonna dust this with a little seasoning, And I'll show you here. You just get on there and rub it with the grain. Now, if you make up your own rub, or if you bought some, either one, this is where you want to put the most of your rub. When we flip it back over, the fat cap side, we're going to put rub on. I think mainly just to give a uniform consistency, but you don't have to put as much, because that fat cap, that seasoning, is that rub is not going to get to the meat through the fat cap, but it will.
Give it nice color. Give it nice color.
That's it, yep. And we'll get it all rubbed down, and then we're ready to go. We'll throw it in the smoker.
Okay, next time we'll come back, we'll have the thing, we'll have it ready, Steve, to go on
the world famous Larry Hall smoker. Everybody's seen it. I've been watching all your videos and checking it out. Proud that he's my uncle.
You know, that's just
you keep saying you're going to fix the seals, but I think if you take those crutches away, people are going to get mad, because we've all fallen in love with the crutches that hold the door.
You know, they work so good.
I know, I love it. I went out there this morning and checked it out.
Gives it character.
Yeah, exactly. Love it. All right, guys, we'll be back.
All right. Thanks, Steve. All right, we got the brisket in the smoker. We got the smoke daddy pumping out the smoke. And we got a fire going underneath there in my pan. I always get that. And I'll adjust that. If you haven't seen what a smoke daddy is, I'll put a link below the video. You can check it out. But we're going to do this thing about 190 degrees, low and slow. I got a water pan in there. And that'll keep moisture in this. And we're going to fire this baby. Close her up and just let her go. I'll be back, Larry. All right. The brisket is ready to pull out a smoker. What are you grinning about?
Do you think they're ready for it, Larry?
Well, let's go look at it.
Are they ready?
Let's look. I haven't
We should give a warning to people.
Smoke Daddy hasn't let up and it's been just pounding solid over 7 hours.
World famous Larry Hall smoker.
That's the one with the crutches.
Crutch.
Yep.
We took the pad off of this one because we were too much pressure.
Oh, we lost the pad. Oh, okay. I got one with the pad up there, maybe. I don't know.
But I have to warn everybody, when you watch for the rest of this video, when I crack the lid on this could cause all kinds of strange addictions later on in your life.
Absolutely.
This food is phenomenal. And I got to give credit to my Uncle Larry, because I was off running around and he tweaked on it and worked on the temp all day long. So kudos to him. Oh, man.
Let's pop the other side.
I'm going to cross camera, which you're not supposed to do, but look at that.
Look, is that sweet or what?
That's a Texas brisket. Water pan in there.
Look at that sweet.
Juice is still dripping off.
Oh, yeah. I hear it screaming, yum, yum. Don't you hear it? I hear it saying all kinds of sides like eat.
Great. On the top is actually a puddle of juice on the top of that. You can get that on camera.
Yeah. There is a puddle of juice on top there. Right
now,
there.
what we're going to do is we're going to pull that off the smoker.
Okay.
We'll put it in a pan that we got here. Now, I double line these pans just because when it comes off here, it is hot.
Right.
I double line just a little easier to handle. They're $1 a piece, so you're not.
I got some of them UGG gloves.
Yeah, and I got some heavy-duty aluminum foil. What they call
it. See that smoker? Look at that smoke daddy just rolling out that smoke.
They call it a Texas crutch. You put it in here, put aluminum foil over top of it. We'll put it in the oven.
Again?
At 180 for another 6 or 7 hours. And tomorrow when the Halls have lunch, they'll have the juiciest brisket. It'll be almost like
when you bring it in tomorrow, we'll finish it up.
We'll slice it on camera.
Slice it on camera, and we'll have some corn with it and all the goods, okay?
There it is.
Let's get her in the pan, and then we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Okay, we took the brisket out of the smoker. I gave it to my nephew, Steve. He took it home, put it in a tray over there, covered it.
We got all of our natural juices.
All the natural juices. Now, what did you roast it for another 5-6 hours?
Yeah, I did at 180.
And that really makes it tender,
really
melts
tender. Yeah, and it get the dome over the top with the aluminum foil, captures all the moisture. What we're going to do now is to warm it up for. We're going to snack on it here in a little bit. Ain't gonna last long. We're going to cut it up into slices. We're going to put it back in the juice, and then we'll warm it up when everybody gets here. We'll be ready to go.
And we're going to have sweet corn and all the goodies with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're going to do slices, you want to cut against the grain.
Okay.
And if you want to make a, what am I trying to say here? You know, like sandwich brisket.
Let's slice some of that. Let's see how that looks. Oh man, look. Huh? Let me see that smoke ring in there, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, that looks just awesome, Steve.
Nice, juicy.
Oh, it looks very juicy.
Yep. If you look here,
we've
also got back here.
That's a big, really fat. It really puts out. Oh man, look at the juice. Huh?
This is your point end.
Wow. Does that ever look awesome?
So we'll get it all flayed up.
Let's slice her up and we'll be back and show them what it looks like all done up, huh?
That's it.
Okay. All right, we're ready for the heat feed here. We got kale and 2 kinds of kale and Swiss chard and what am I, spinach and everything, bacon, and that's out of the 1 gallon grow bags and all this stuff. Here's all the salad. The salad is out of 7 kinds of salad out of my cow. Here's the brisket Steve Jr. did, and we got sweet corn, corn on the cob. We got cousin Dave from Iowa. We got his boy, Big J. We got Gene from Iowa. We got the one that did all the brisket, his 2 lovely daughters. We got right here. And we got Mr. Mike all the way from Florida. And we got Sheila over Miss Sheila. And Brother Steve.
Are we filming?
And we got the man. And way over in the corner is Mike's lovely wife. And we got Debbie and the little baby. Come and eat, Deb. But it looks like some good eats, folks. Well, here we are, whole Hall clan up here in Rome Clan, enjoying this brisket. This Larry Hall from Brandon, Minnesota. Ciao. Hey, we just had a nice meal, and we got a bunch of sweet corn over. My wife's going to show you a really cool way that how we save our corn. Take it away, Yvonne.
With the corn you have left, just take it, roll it in a paper towel, make sure it's secure, put it in a bag for later. Now let's say it's 2-3 days later and you want to eat this corn, take it out, run it under the faucet, stick it in the microwave, warm it up, and it's like just boiled it.
All right, good way to keep your leftover corn and have it in a few days just like new. Thanks, hon.
Just like no.
All right, this is Larry and Brenner. Ciao.